Imagine waking up one day and realizing something is off. You forget what you had for breakfast, where you placed your keys, or even the name of a distant relative you've known for years. At first, it's subtle, so subtle that you dismiss it as part of the natural aging process. But day by day, this forgetfulness grows. The names, the appointments, the places you used to know by heart, they start slipping away like sand through your fingers. It feels like a cruel trick of time, an unavoidable cost of growing older. But what if I told you this isn't just aging? What if the real cause of this silent decline is hiding in plain sight inside the medicine cabinet in your home? Across the world, millions of people, especially those over 60, are being prescribed medications believed to be safe, even beneficial. These drugs are household names, prescribed for decades by trusted physicians. And yet, a growing body of research now warns that these very medications might be silently accelerating brain degeneration, memory loss, cognitive decline, confusion. These symptoms may not just be signs of age. They may be side effects of the pills we take every day, unaware of the price our brains are paying. In recent years, neurologists, geriatricians, and researchers have raised red flags over specific drug classes that affect the central nervous system. Studies are emerging that link these medications to early-onset dementia, reduced cognitive performance, and in some cases, irreversible brain damage. What makes this situation even more alarming is how commonly these drugs are used. Millions of prescriptions filled, month after month, without clear warnings about their long-term neurological effects. Let's start with the first category, muscle relaxants. Designed to relieve pain, spasms, and stiffness, these medications are often given to people with back issues, arthritis, or post-injury discomfort. They work by slowing down neural activity in the central nervous system, producing a sense of calm and pain relief. But that calming effect comes with a hidden cost. By depressing brain function, muscle relaxants reduce not only pain signals but also attention span, memory, and cognitive alertness. In older adults, whose metabolism is slower, the effects of these drugs can linger in the body longer, increasing the risk of prolonged drowsiness, confusion, and mental fog. Over time, continuous use of muscle relaxants can lead to what appears to be natural forgetfulness, but it's not. It's drug-induced cognitive suppression. Seniors may begin to experience difficulty focusing, reacting slowly, or becoming easily disoriented. This slow, creeping erosion of mental clarity is often misdiagnosed as early-stage dementia, when the real cause may be the medication itself. And this isn't a rare occurrence. Muscle relaxants are among the most frequently prescribed medications in the U.S., often used for months or even years, despite their original intent to serve only as a short-term solution. Let's pause here and reflect. Why are so many people unknowingly compromising their brain health for short-term physical relief? In traditional Eastern philosophy, there's a principle: what relieves now can imprison later. That truth applies here. The temporary comfort offered by muscle relaxants may, in the long run, rob us of mental independence. That's why it's critical to talk with your doctor about alternatives, physical therapy, lifestyle changes, or natural treatments that don't affect your neural function in the same damaging way. The second category is just as concerning: anxiolytics and sedatives. These include medications for anxiety, stress, panic attacks, and insomnia. Drugs like benzodiazepines fall under this category, and they are commonly prescribed to older adults struggling with sleep or agitation. On the surface, these medications offer comfort, better sleep, calmer nerves, and reduced panic. But beneath the surface, they interfere with brain connectivity and memory retention. When taken regularly, they reduce mental alertness, impair learning, and diminish the brain's ability to form new memories. Worse still, these drugs create dependency. Over time, the brain begins to rely on them to achieve calm, which reduces its natural resilience to stress and emotional regulation. The result: a person may become more anxious without the drug, fall into confusion more easily, and experience trouble concentrating. This mental dulling is cumulative and, in older adults, can become permanent. Clinical studies have even linked long-term sedative use to a significantly higher risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. It's important to understand the biological mechanics here. As we age, our liver and kidneys process medications more slowly. What used to take hours now takes days to fully clear from the body. This leads to a buildup of sedatives in the bloodstream, even at regular dosages, causing unexpected side effects like daytime sleepiness, dizziness, and balance issues. These symptoms dramatically increase the risk of falls and injuries, another reason why these medications should be used with extreme caution. Now imagine someone you love, your parent, your spouse, or even yourself, slipping into a fog of forgetfulness, confusion, and reduced cognitive function, not because of a degenerative disease, but because of a drug they've been told is safe. That's the harsh reality we need to confront. And we are only 2 medications in. In the next part of this video, we will go deeper. We'll discuss 3 more widely prescribed drug categories that impact brain health in older adults: anticholinergics, antipsychotics, and even over-the-counter sleep aids. You'll learn how each of these works, why they're prescribed, and what recent studies say about their long-term impact. Most importantly, you'll discover what you can do today to protect yourself and your loved ones from unintentional cognitive harm. If you know someone over 60, or if you are taking any medications yourself, you owe it to your future to stay informed. Knowledge is power, and in this case, knowledge might be the very thing that preserves your independence, your clarity, and your connection to the world around you. Painkillers are among the most widely used medications by older adults. They are often taken for joint aches, back pain, or after surgery. While these drugs can be life-saving and provide much-needed relief, long-term and unsupervised use may have hidden effects that few people talk about. These medications work by changing how the nervous system interprets pain, but in doing so, especially with ongoing use, they interfere with parts of the brain responsible for attention, mental clarity, and memory. Initially, the effects are subtle, maybe a moment of forgetfulness, slightly slower thinking, or difficulty focusing on a simple task. But over time, these changes compound. The problem becomes even more serious in older adults, whose metabolism naturally slows down. As a result, these substances can accumulate in the body, increasing the risk of side effects like dizziness, drowsiness, confusion, and even dangerous falls. This can lead to fractures, a loss of mobility, and, ultimately, a loss of independence. The danger is often invisible because people don't notice these changes happening gradually. It becomes even riskier when painkillers are mixed with other medications common among seniors. This can silently amplify cognitive decline without the patient even realizing it. It's important to note, in moments of acute pain, say after surgery or during a medical crisis, these medications are necessary. The concern arises when they are taken continuously for months or years without re-evaluation. The habit of taking them as a default response to any discomfort can build dependency and mask deeper issues. That's why it's essential to explore alternatives like physical therapy, acupuncture, gentle exercise, or even natural anti-inflammatory treatments. These options may not offer instant relief, but they can significantly support long-term health without compromising the brain. If you regularly take painkillers, now is the time to talk to your doctor. Ask whether your current dosage is still necessary, and whether there are other, less invasive options. Review your usage. Reflect on whether your mental clarity has changed since starting the treatment. Managing pain is essential, but not at the cost of your independence or cognitive sharpness. There's another risk people often overlook: hearing loss. Yes, long-term use of some painkillers, especially opioids and certain anti-inflammatories, has been linked to damage in the sensory cells of the inner ear. This damage builds quietly over time, gradually impairing hearing. And here's where the connection becomes alarming. Studies show that hearing loss significantly increases the risk of dementia, including Alzheimer's. This doesn't mean hearing loss directly causes dementia, but the two are deeply connected. When you hear less, your brain receives fewer stimuli. This reduces brain activity and weakens memory centers. In addition, hearing loss often leads to social withdrawal. People may feel left out of conversations, embarrassed to ask others to repeat themselves, or just mentally exhausted from trying to understand what's being said. This social isolation is one of the most consistent risk factors for neurodegenerative diseases. What's more, the brain must work harder to fill in the gaps, diverting precious resources away from memory, reasoning, and attention. Over time, this chronic strain contributes to mental fatigue and cognitive decline. This is why continuous painkiller use needs regular review. While these medications have a place in modern medicine, prolonged use without supervision may harm not just hearing, but also thinking, memory, and quality of life. If you are concerned, talk to your doctor. Request a hearing test. Look out for signs of social isolation, confusion, or trouble following conversations. Don't wait until it becomes a crisis. Surprisingly, another class of commonly used medications also affects the brain: antibiotics. These life-saving drugs fight off dangerous infections, but frequent or inappropriate use, especially without medical supervision, can cause imbalances in your body that affect mental function. That's because antibiotics don't just kill harmful bacteria, they also destroy beneficial bacteria in the gut. And your gut isn't just about digestion, it's also a key player in brain health. Healthy gut bacteria help produce substances that support mental clarity,